Ghana celebrates International Nurses Day. CANU busts 94 kilograms of cannabis in BERBICE. South RUIMVELDT Gardens residents frustrated over the continuous road destruction by trucks. In the region, hunger, malnutrition in Latin America increases, worsens by COVID crisis. And internationally, China's population growing at slowest pace in decades. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. International Nurses Day is observed annually around the world on May 12th to mark the contributions that nurses make to society. It celebrates the tireless efforts of nurses in maintaining public health. This year, International Nurses Day is being recognized under the theme Nurses, a voice to lead, a vision for future healthcare. On this occasion, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said, "On International Nurses Day, we salute our nurses for their years of service to Guyana's health sector. I say a big thank you. As you help us navigate this pandemic, we look forward to brighter days when our country will achieve herd immunity and we can return to a state of normalcy. Indeed, with your collective voice and leadership, the future of healthcare can be COVID-19 free. Happy International Nurses Day." Nurses are at the forefront of fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Like doctors and other healthcare workers, nurses are continuously providing high-quality care, often working without breaks. Nurses are integral to the healthcare system. Walter Lawrence, former Minister of Health, had this message to the nation's nurses. "To care for one is love, but to care for hundreds is nursing." Happy International Nurses Day to all of our nation's nurses. Please be reminded that you are one of the most valuable assets to this nation and your services should never be unnoticed or unrewarded. It is by your works and commitment that nurses in this country will improve day by day. Residents of South RUIMVELDT Gardens are fed up with the continuous destruction of their roadways by heavy-duty trucks. Esther Sobers has that story.
For the past 5 years, the residents of David Rose Street in South RUIMVELDT Gardens have been plagued with the constant destruction of the street by heavy-duty trucks traversing the area heavily laden to develop the industrial site at CANU area. Over the years, the residents have made several reports to the authorities about the noise nuisance and the road destruction, but to no avail.
These trucks are extra large, extra overloaded, and they have been traveling 24/7. And the weight of the vehicles have broken the roads, shaken our houses, and kept us awake at night for several weeks. The roads have become impassable on David Rose Street. We have, as residents, as a community, tried several different avenues to slow down, stop, impede that sort of traffic because this is a community, a residential community area. It has fallen so far on deaf ears, so the residents did what they felt they had to do to prevent trucks from passing.
Yesterday, some of the residents took matters into their own hands and used old metal objects to block the entrance of the road from the trucks entering and causing further destruction. However, ranks of the Guyana Police Force turned up to remove the obstacle, leaving the residents in a state of uncertainty. Some of them are forced to park their vehicles in unsafe places since they can't access their driveways.
But I find it very sad that those who have been building have total, blatant disregard for the residents of this community, are so selfish and uncaring that they don't care what they do. The roads were blocked. They're trying to find other roads to go through without any care for the residents. That is my concern.
The residents are pleading for an intervention of the relevant authorities to have the trucks banned from entering the street. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Hours after the Immigration Support Services revoked the work permit of Ian Jones, a director of the company setting up an illegal concrete plant in Guyana, Superior Concrete Incorporated, and gave him 7 days to depart the country, another director has also been given 24 hours to leave the country. Richard Austin Shalim was granted 1 month visitor's visa when he entered the country, but was found to have overstayed on his visa. Shamlin was seen on Tuesday abusing housing officials of the Central Housing and Planning Authorities. As a result, the Immigration Support Services has notified Shamlin that he has 24 hours to pack up and leave. Failure to honor the notice of departure will see him being deported. Superior Concrete Incorporated illegally constructed a concrete plant at back South Renfrew Gardens without the requisite permission from the relevant authorities, including the Environmental Protection Agency and the Mayor and City Council. The Immigration Department discovered that Jones's services were terminated by his previous employers, an oil field company, but he continued to work in Guyana on the same work permit. As such, the government moved to cancel the work permit and extension of stay with the support of his previous employer. In addition, the City Engineer Department of the Guyana Mayor and City Council has asked the 3 foreigners to cease and remove all unauthorized works immediately. Stick around, we've got more news for you after the break.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets for all your holiday shopping. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. Specials on 65-inch and 55-inch high-end TVs, Samsung French door fridges, Black & Decker appliances, iron rice cookers, 2 and 4 slice toasters, coffee makers, kettles, and toaster ovens. Queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses, German-made pressure pot in 5, 6, 7 and 9 liters, 12 pieces pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans, Samsung smart stoves. Sale 5 to 15% off store-wide.
Welcome back. Yesterday, CANU ranks seized 94 kilograms of cannabis at number 68 Village, Corriverton, BERBICE. After days of surveillance around the area, sometime around 4 a.m., ranks observed persons with flashlights coming through a track not far from where they were positioned and 2 lights on a vessel coming just off the shoreline. The officers identified themselves and called out to the persons to stop. The persons dropped what they were carrying and scattered in different directions. The officers attempted to pursue, but due to poor visibility and concerns for their safety, they decided not to continue. A search of the area where the items were dropped unearthed 4 bags with several parcels inside. The bags were transported to CANU's headquarters where they were processed. The result was 80 parcels of marijuana weighing a total of 207 pounds or 94 kilograms. Investigations are continuing. Ranks at the Bartica police station were briefed yesterday about the COVID-19 vaccine. Esther Sobers has more.
On Tuesday, the commander of Region 7, Superintendent Dion Moore, and the officer in charge of Number 1 Subdivision, Assistant Superintendent Kevin London, facilitated a meeting with the ranks of Bartica Police Station to educate them about COVID-19 vaccine. The regional health officer of Region Number 7, Dr. Edward Sagala, briefed those present about the vaccine. Dr. Sagala gave a statistical breakdown of the causes in the region while highlighting the importance of taking the vaccine. Though many concerns about the vaccine were raised, he was able to clarify them, and the ranks were pleased to have their questions answered. Guyana is striving to acquire herd immunity, which is about 80% of its population being fully vaccinated. To date, 32.4% of adults have received their first dose of vaccine. On Monday, the government of Guyana received 38,400 doses of COVAX AstraZeneca vaccine and is expecting another 40,000 doses shortly. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. A 26-year-old man was last night arrested for allegedly damaging the property of a 63-year-old woman who was giving shelter to his terrified wife. According to a police report, around 10 p.m., the accused, in a fit of rage, went to the woman's house at Westminster Parfait Harmony, West Bank, Demerara, where he verbally abused her and his wife. The two women, who were alone at home at the time, became afraid and hid inside a bedroom. The report further stated that the suspect picked up some cement blocks from the yard and used it to smash the windshields of two vehicles and destroyed other household items valuing more than $500,000. A report was made to the Parfait Harmony police station. The police visited the scene and arrested the suspect. He remains in custody. Don't go away. After the break, we have your regional and international news.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets for all your holiday shopping. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. Specials on 65-inch and 55-inch Hisense TVs, Samsung French door fridges, Black & Decker appliances, iron, rice cookers, 2 and 4 slice toasters, coffee makers, kettles, and toaster ovens. Queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses, German-made pressure pot in 5, 6, 7 and 9 liters, 12 pieces pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans, Samsung smart stoves, sale 5 to 15% off store-wide.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I gonna do here?
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Pooja Singh and I'm the senior teacher at the literature after school program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online side, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379.
I can call them now.
Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. In the region, the coronavirus pandemic has hit Latin America's poor badly, and many children are going hungry, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. At the same time, malnutrition is also on the rise as many families switch to substandard carbohydrates-heavy products, resulting in a rise in childhood obesity. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
All over Chile, public schools prepare bags with 15 days' worth of breakfast and lunch, 1 bag per child. It's the food a student would normally eat right here if they were attending class.
It includes flavored milk, instant oatmeal, eggs, tinned fish. We have to guarantee the proper level of protein and other nutrients for school children.
With schools closed for more than a year now due to the pandemic, parents or older students need to pick up the food to take home. José Luis Herras is taking home the bag allocated to his 4-year-old daughter, Daniela.
Before the pandemic, we could buy meat or chicken. Now we have to restrict our diet. Pasta, rice, bread, things like that. There's nothing here, a totally empty pot.
The family of 7 includes 5 small children, including a 4-month-old baby. But Mr. Herras has been out of work for months, so food is scarce, which is why the school's food is a big help. Malnutrition was eradicated in Chile, in great part thanks to the food program. Yet the latest annual census carried out under the pandemic reveals that for the first time in decades, malnutrition is reappearing, up by almost 1%. The reasons are multiple. For example, secondary school student Pastor Yola is picking up a food bag meant just for her.
I also have 2 small sisters. We share my bag between the 3 of us.
The UN Food and Agriculture Organization predicts that hunger will increase by 7.7% in Latin America because of the pandemic. That translates into 36 million people. But programs like this one underscore that malnourishment and hunger do not always go hand in hand. In fact, Chilean children are amongst the most obese in the world. And during the pandemic, youth obesity has actually increased.
Malnutrition isn't only caused by small amounts of food. It can also be caused by food of poor quality, especially an excess of carbohydrates without protein, fruits or vegetables.
In fact, the census shows that malnutrition that causes stunted growth is also being found in children who are not from low-income families. Another example of how COVID-19 is impacting our health, well beyond the virus itself. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Santiago.
And internationally, China's population is growing at its slowest pace since the 1950s, with falling birth and a rapidly aging population. Experts predict that the numbers will start to decline within the next 5 years. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu reports.
Wang Shuilian is 44 and looks forward to retiring at the age of 50, but she may need to wait a little longer. The Chinese government is set to raise the age of retirement by at least 5 years. Just one of the policy changes expected in response to the country's rapidly aging society.
I couldn't accept my retirement being delayed much longer. I was very concerned when I heard this news.
According to the results of a once-in-a-decade census, China's population is graying and growing at its slowest pace in decades. Since 2010, it expanded by 5.38% to 1.41 billion people, falling short of the government target of 1.42. Analysts say China is facing a demographic time bomb, and the numbers may be lower than reported.
In the 1980s, 25 million babies were born every year. Last year, the figure was 12 million. Even if you believe this number, it's less than half of what it was. The workforce is declining quickly, and China is losing its economic vitality.
The population is expected to shrink as early as 2022. This will impact China's ability to compete with other countries. China's labor force will lose an estimated 35 million workers over the next 5 years. People are also living longer, putting immense pressure on China's pension and health system. Almost 20% of the population are over the age of 60.
China's aging crisis is made worse by the slowing birth rate. Families are having fewer children, despite government efforts to boost the birth rate by ending the one-child policy in 2016.
The rising cost of living is one, but not the only reason women are having fewer children.
The real problem is actually the long-term career. There's no really social arrangement or government support for women with children and how their career should be rebooted.
The government is under pressure to abandon child limits altogether. Some say it's too late. Populations in China's northeast are already shrinking. Beijing is focusing on what it says are positive changes, increased urbanization and higher levels of education. It's dismissed claims its census figures are inaccurate. Wang Xuelian accepts that policy changes are coming, but hopes workers like her will end up better and not worse off. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
And finally, as the Philippines reports its first 2 cases of COVID-19 variant initially identified in India, its health workers are bearing the brunt. The Philippines has the second highest number of infections and casualties in the Southeast Asia, and its medical staff says poor working conditions are to be blamed. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Liu reports.
DJ Salvador lives with his 92-year-old grandmother who suffers from Alzheimer's, his father who is diabetic, and his mother who's had a stroke. The last thing he wanted to add into the mix was COVID-19. But working as a nurse meant that was always going to be a possibility.
I was afraid my family would get sick. If I got sick because I had direct exposure to employees and patients who were COVID positive.
His fears came true. He became a patient at the government hospital where he works. His father then tested positive for COVID-19, and his mother and grandmother showed symptoms.
I'm a health worker, so I'm pretty sure I am the one who brought the virus home. I blamed myself at the time.
Almost 6,500 nurses in the Philippines have contracted coronavirus. In the United States, a report last September said a third of 200 nurses there who died of COVID-19 were Filipino. Yet, many Filipinos still choose to work overseas.
Filipino nurses are some of the most in demand in the world, but here in the Philippines, they're overworked, they're underpaid, and throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, they've had to beg for their risk pay and benefits.
DJ was one of a handful of nurses who joined the May Day labor rights demonstrations. Not the first time nurses have taken to the streets to air their grievances.
Our nurses and health workers are already exhausted, severely exhausted, and we are demoralized because we feel that even though the government referred to us as the heroes in this pandemic, they do not really show genuine compassion and care to us.
The difficulty of claiming COVID-19 benefits has weighed on DJ's mind. He could find work in another country, but that would mean leaving his family behind. Barnaby Low, Al Jazeera, Manila.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, be safe and take care.